The city slept under a blanket of darkness. Yet inside Hua Yong's penthouse, the night felt alive, throbbing with tension, anticipation, and unspoken desires. Sheng Xiaoyu sat on the edge of the couch, restless, his hands twisting and tugging at the fabric of his shirt. Since Hua Yong had permanently marked him, every nerve in Sheng's body was on fire. Desire, frustration, and longing clashed in a storm that left him breathless. He had spent years on the receiving end of Hua Yong's control, submitting to the enigmatic alpha's every touch, every command, every intimate advance. And now, a wild, aching part of him wanted to claim even a fraction of that power. I want to top you tonight, Sheng whispered to himself, the words strange on his tongue. His pulse pounded, each beat echoing the urgency and ache inside him. For so long, he had been only the one to submit, only the one to follow. And though Hua Yong had made him feel cherished, desired, and taken care of, there was a gnawing emptiness, a part of him that longed to feel the power, the control, the dominance over the man who had dominated his entire life. Hua Yong's presence was magnetic, filling the room without a sound. He lounged in his armchair, elegant, calm, and impossibly composed. His eyes never left Sheng, sharp and assessing, a quiet storm of power and intensity. Sheng felt small under that gaze, yet he refused to look away. I need this, he murmured, almost to himself, almost too afraid to say it aloud. Hua Yong's lips curved into a faint, knowing smile. He stood, moving with the grace of a predator, every step deliberate. You want to top me? His voice was low, teasing, a blend of amusement and challenge that made Sheng's chest tighten. Do you understand what you are asking? Sheng swallowed hard. I know, but I've waited, I've watched, I've been patient for so long. I need this once. I need to be the one in control. His words trembled, raw with vulnerability, confession, and the dangerous fire of desire. Hua Yong circled him slowly, predatory and deliberate. Bold, he murmured. Reckless and foolish. You think you can take control of me? That you could dominate me, even for one night? Sheng's heart raced, his breathing quickening. I don't care about the risk. I want to be the one leading, even for a moment. Hua Yong paused behind him, his presence overwhelming. The warmth radiating from him, the subtle power in his posture, reminded Sheng of every time he had felt powerless before Hua Yong's commanding gaze. Do you think I will allow it? Hua Yong asked softly, yet every syllable carried authority, dominance, and unyielding control. You must understand something, Sheng Xiaoyu. I do not let anyone top me. Not ever. Sheng's chest tightened. He had always known this truth, but the ache in his chest only worsened. I know, he whispered, voice trembling, but I can't stop wanting it. I need this. Please. Just once. Hua Yong's eyes softened slightly, not enough to diminish his dominance, but enough to send a shiver down Sheng's spine. You have been bold enough to speak it, he said, circling him again. But words alone do not grant you power. Desire is not enough to sway me. Sheng's pulse quickened, a mix of frustration, longing, and awe. He had imagined this moment countless times, fantasized about standing above Hua Yong, taking the lead, even if only for a fleeting second. And now in reality, the impossibility of it made his need burn brighter. Hua Yong's dominance was absolute, and Sheng's longing only intensified in the face of that immovable power. Hua Yong's hand landed lightly on Sheng's shoulder, possessive and grounding. You are mine, he murmured, the words soft yet filled with undeniable authority. Every desire, every thought, every want belongs to me. You may think you want to lead, but you will always be beneath me. That is the law of us. Sheng's eyes closed, swallowing the ache rising in his chest. I understand, he whispered, surrendering to the truth even as his body burned with unfulfilled desire. But I can't stop wanting Hua Yong leaned closer, his presence suffocating yet intoxicating. "Tell me," he said, tilting Sheng's chin gently with his fingers. "What is it that you feel? Speak it, and perhaps I will decide how to respond." Sheng's voice was barely audible, raw with need. I want to be the one in control. Just once, just tonight. I want to feel powerful. I want to give back a little of what you've always taken from me." Hua Yong's lips curled in a faint smile. "You desire to take control of me, yet you are trembling beneath me. You have fire, yes, but you lack power. You cannot shift the balance between us." Sheng's frustration swelled, mingling with awe and a strange, aching admiration. He wanted to argue, to insist, to prove himself. But Hua Yong's gaze was unyielding, commanding. Every nerve in his body ached to push boundaries, to taste power, to assert control. Yet he realized painfully that Hua Yong's dominance was absolute. The very thing he craved control over Hua Yong was impossible. And yet, in that impossibility, every touch, every glance, every whisper from Hua Yong felt intoxicating beyond measure. Hua Yong crouched slightly, his lips brushing Sheng's ear as he spoke. "Do you understand now? Even in your desire, even in your fire, you are mine. You may wish to take, to assert, to dominate. But that is not your place. Not yet, not ever." Sheng trembled, a mix of frustration and longing, realizing the truth he had always known but had dared to ignore. I understand," he whispered, "but it doesn't stop the feeling inside me. It doesn't stop the ache, the want, the need." Hua Yong's hand trailed from Sheng's cheek down his shoulder, firm yet gentle, possessive yet not violent. "And that," he murmured, "is enough for now. Desire is a leash, and it binds you closer to me. The law of us is not to fulfill every want, every whim, every longing. It is to endure it, to feel it, and to be reminded that you are mine." Sheng's chest tightened. Dominance. But in the face of Hua Yong's unyielding mastery, he realized he had found something far deeper. A binding, a connection, a tether of desire and dominance that would never break. That would always leave him yearning, aching, and irrevocably devoted. The night stretched on. Sheng sat curled on the couch, body trembling with unspent desire, mind spinning with frustration and awe. Hua Yong's arm draped over him, warm and firm, a constant reminder of the unassailable balance of power between them. Sheng had longed to lead, dreamed of taking control, even for a moment. Yet the reality that he could never top Hua Yong made every touch, every whisper, every glance even more intoxicating, more binding, and more deeply consuming. Hua Yong watched him silently, the faintest smile playing on his lips. "You may want it, crave it, even beg for it," he murmured, "but you will always be beneath me. That is the law of us, and it is the law you cannot escape." Sheng's breath hitched, frustration and desire mingling in a nearly unbearable tension. I understand," he whispered again, though his body ached for what he could not have. "I just wanted you to know." Hua Yong's fingers stroked Sheng's hair, gentle yet possessive. "And I know," he said softly, voice low and intimate. "And that knowledge, that fire in you, it is mine. Yours to endure, yours to ache with. And in that, we are bound forever." Sheng closed his eyes, leaning into the warmth and dominance of Hua Yong's presence. He had voiced the longing that had been buried deep within him, yet the impossible truth remained. Hua Yong's control was absolute. Sheng could never lead, he could never top. And yet, in that impossibility, in that unfulfilled desire, Sheng found a fire, a passion, a devotion that tethered him irrevocably to Hua Yong, a bond stronger than need, stronger than lust. The night ended with Sheng nestled beside Hua Yong, body trembling, heart pounding, mind swirling with 1,000 emotions he could not name. Desire burned within him, longing unfulfilled, Yet he was closer to Hua Yong than ever before. And in the quiet, the stillness, the undeniable presence of the man who dominated his every thought, Sheng understood the ultimate truth of their connection. He was and would always be utterly and completely Hua Yong's.